So, 9 a.m. on it's a Thursday morning, and I've just stayed in the Syter hut for the night, and I've got to say that was a really nice experience. The people who own the hut have been running that hut for 25 years, and they were very welcoming. It was also a beautiful evening, and because we're so far north, the sun stays in the sky for so long that we're sitting out in the sun till late. Didn't sleep very well, a bit hot in the room, but it was a very pleasant experience. And today, a fairly flat walk as far as I can see to a hut by a lake, and I've been told on the way there's a lot of mosquitoes, so I'm gonna have to put on some mosquito repellent. But first, this must be a nice walk across the lake where you have to go across a lot of bridges. So anyway, that's the saying goodbye to the hut, and a really nice place to stay. So, going down here, beautiful lakes ahead. We're around the lake, seemingly there is a lot of mosquitoes. And when the Swedish guys were telling me last night that the Sami, who they seem to hold in regard like Vikings, who are the sort of indigenous people up in the Arctic, have a way of getting rid of mosquitoes. And what they do is, one day, or they pick a day and they take off all their clothes and they go to a place where the mosquitoes are really, really bad, and they put some ointment on them to make the mosquitoes love to attack their body even more, and they lie down for the day totally naked. And then, so it goes, or legend goes, or once you've spent that day, you're never bitten by a mosquito again. Kind of like that. Sounds quite good. Anyway, it's pretty beautiful where we are. Yeah. So about 2 kilometers in. Pretty easy terrain. Kind of gorsey type of Wicklow Mountains sort of terrain, really. There's a crowd of about 4 groups heading the same direction. They have this thing here where they make it really cheap for people between 18 and 25 to do parts of the Kungsleden, just to get them interested in the outside world. And a ranger on the first hut was telling me, because of the virus, the COVID virus, that she also thinks good things will come out of it, and she thinks Swedish people are getting to know nature again, and that's a really nice thing. And actually those young people are just ahead of me. I'm actually just coming up to them now. You can see that. Anyway, signing off. So I was just about to, I literally took it out. I just put my camera back in, let's say. So I just gone past those girls and I tell them how bad the mosquitoes are. But I just came over the hill, and this is probably the most beautiful sight I've seen yet. So I'm just going to go down a tiny bit further, because it looks like it continues to open up and be amazing. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. We were in the Grand Canyon last year, and that was pretty exceptional. And this is up there. Well, it's not up there, but it's not far behind. Let me see if you can see that. Goes way down there, but it's kind of mystic a bit. Wow, it's pretty amazing. So I'm going over it's 6 lakes I'm going over. Oh no, sorry, let's say that I'm going over one lake, a big lake, and there's 6 bridges to go over. Yeah, pretty beautiful, look at that. And I just dropped my favourite sweets, which I found, which are Swedish sweets. I don't know how I dropped them, but I did. And this is really, the bridge is nice and shaky when you're on it. Not many people around now at all. Oh, this is really, really beautiful. There's a lovely shine off the lake there. The great thing I love about walking is it probably takes about 3 days, maybe a bit more, and then your brain settles down and you start to see things differently. So all the gunk that's in there of life gets pushed away. And then you have a look at it from beyond or at it. And on the first day, a warden woman, I happened to walk with her after about, I was only about 3 hours in, and I've gone over another one of the bridges there. Pretty nice. Really is beautiful around here. And she said to me, we're talking about the virus, and she said, I'm a bit excited about the virus. And I was like, ooh, that's a strange word, and maybe she used it wrong in English, but she said, I think a lot of good will come out of this. And when you're surrounded by nature and so far away from anything, as a human being, I think you feel very small. While on the planet we live in, with all the social media and the governments, millions of people around, you feel very large. And I think something this virus will tip the balance back into nature. It may take quite a while, but it definitely feels that way. So we're about 1.5 kilometers from the hut today, and Tärnasjö hut, I think it's called. We're walking beside a lake, as you can see. The day has been walking really after those 6 bridges, just through literally a forest of birches. It's starting to rain, not very heavily, very lightly, and there's not as many mosquitoes around that I thought there would be. That doesn't seem to affect me that much. And so yeah, made good progress today. Seem to be clocking in around just over 3 kilometers an hour, which for me I think is pretty slow. I usually am close to 4, around 4 in this sort of terrain anyway. It's quite hard to walk on because there's a lot of stones and there's a lot of roots from trees. You see there? And if you're not really looking at your feet, you know, you can trip. So not always going to slow you down because you're watching that all the time. So the hut I'm staying in tonight, it has a shop, and it is on the lake. Now usually I think it's supposed to be quite nice because there's a really nice sauna and everything like that, but because of COVID-19, saunas are not happening this year, which, as someone told me last night, it really adds to the experience here is to have the sauna as well. Maybe next trip. Yeah, and so tomorrow I'm kind of probably, I have not booked in a hut. I want to try out my new tent, and having talked to someone who said where the other hut is, and that's where most people usually camp, is next to the huts. They said there's a lot of mosquitoes. So he pointed out to the top of a sort of mountain with a beautiful view with a good water supply. That's probably about 2 hours afterwards. So it'll be a long day tomorrow, or longer, probably. I think I'll clock in probably around 4.5 hours of walking today, which is pretty okay. And tomorrow it should be somewhere in the region of about 6.5, 7. So anyway, signing off. So it's early evening and the mosquitoes have gone in because it's been raining a bit, and I've just come down to the lake, which I jumped in earlier on, and so it's very beautiful down here. Yeah, so usually what people would do here is the sauna is there, and then they go from the sauna into the freezing lake, back into the sauna, back into the freezing lake. But there's no sauna this year. The freezing lake was pretty cold when I went into it earlier on, but this is really beautiful. I'm all alone down here as well. Everyone else is inside in the hut and they're playing cards under candlelight. It's quite dark in the hut. There's no electricity, of course. So, yeah. So, long day tomorrow. I'm going to be going to bed soon, and yeah, successful day.